And we were talking about King Crimson, the original album cover. That's that debut album has such an iconic. I mean, that is one of the most famous album covers of all time. And you tell a great story in Songs of a Lifetime of how that artwork came about. We live in such an odd time now where, I mean, that was one of the things back then that you thought about. I mean, I can't imagine that bands think too hard about what's going to be on their album cover when, if anybody's going to see it at all, it's going to be a little tiny little thumbnail on their, iPod or something like that.
It's a very good point you make, because that's how a lot of people got introduced to graphical art in the first place. It's because they got interested in the art on album covers. They were fascinated by the art they were seeing on album covers. And that led to their appreciation of art in general. And now, of course, as you rightly point out, if I want to hear a track now, if I want to buy an album of an artist, I go to iTunes, I type it in, I download it, and I listen to it. And it changes the whole dynamic. When people used to buy vinyl, albums, there was something tactile about them. People who almost used to feel that they had come direct from the artist. Somebody once said in a joke to me, it was actually true though, they sort of fessed up, and it said to me, "Craig, you know what?" He said, "I've got to tell you this. I used to smell them."
Right. No,
I used to smell them, And I mean, but people did. They had more of because they contained the personal liner notes. They contained the artwork. The artist had a hand in the whole product. And when you bought that album, it was tactile. It had a feel. It was big enough to, sit back and look at the album cover and actually get some benefit from the artwork. When you look into the screaming face of Schizoid Man on Court of the Crimson King, you can't help but be affected by it. It was one of the great things. It was one of the great things about this era of shared music. It wasn't just the music, it was the artwork as well, and it was the whole thing of it being a complete art product. It was something that was entertaining from the moment you picked it up to the moment you close your eyes and listen to the music.